Well, hello there, hello there. It is your girl, Shauna Ray, coming to you once again with Boss Talk. That's bold, one of a kind, sensational superstars. Now, I am so excited today to bring on my guest. I am so blessed to have so many amazing friends that I can just go through my friends list and bring you amazing women and, gentlemen a month forever. So, my guest this week has been my friend ever since I moved to Los Angeles, California. And so we're going to get a chance to talk about how we met and all of those things. But I just want to thank you for joining us once again on Boss Talk. So if you're in there, say hello to us. Let us know where you're from in the chat. And I just want to introduce you to my guest tonight. Her name is Dr. Misha Davis Harding. Misha is an executive coach and consultant at Crown Leadership. That is her company. She is a doctor of psychology in organizational management. And Misha's company is called Crown Leadership. And in her company, she works with high achievers. So her mission is to unleash the potential of extraordinary high achievers who love and are passionate about what they do. They lead powerfully and they live their lives to the fullest. So if that's you out there, you're going to want to know what Misha has to offer us today. So I told you that Misha and I are going to talk about why a coach needs a coach. And this woman will be able to tell you that because her expertise includes executive performance coaching, strategy execution, individual and organizational assessments, training and facilitation, and strategic planning. So if you're out there and you're someone who needs to help others reach their highest potential, and you work with those who are already working and at full speed ahead, then Misha, Dr. Misha, because I love to give her props because she worked hard to get there. She is the one that you want to talk to. Misha has over 20 years of experience combined as a business executive and a mental health professional. In addition, she is a noted speaker and her trainings are high impact, high energy, and results driven. So, without another word from me, I want to bring on my guest, Ms. No, hold it. I like to get it right. Dr. Misha. Hello.
Oh, hello.
How
Hello.
are you?
I'm fine, my friend. How are you?
I am doing great. It is so good to see you.
So good to see you too. I'm happy to be here with
I'm
you
so
and
happy to have you. So
your
we
friends.
are joined by Miss Connie Kirvin from Boston. And Connie says, hello, Shauna Ray. It's your MSA Sis Minister Queen. I love it. Connie, so excited about tonight's broadcast. Yes, Connie was a guest on the show not long ago. And we are sisters from MSA, which is the Master Storyteller Academy with Andy Enriquez. So Misha, welcome to Boss Talk, my girl.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here. This is going to be so much fun.
Yes, yes. So let's start with how we met. Do
Oh
you
my goodness.
remember?
How did we meet? Okay, so well, we met. You had just moved from New York. Do you remember that?
That's right.
Okay, so we were both at this. Well, it was a Christian club. Really, it was church,
Yep.
but we called it the Upside Down Club, which I miss that so much. It was on the corner of Sunset and Vine near the Palladium
No,
over
no. So it was Gower. No.
Gower, Gower, and
No,
Pop.
wait, no. Okay, it's oh. What was it? Oh my gosh, I knew that.
Yeah, me too. It
But
was
it was over in that area. Why can't I think of it? But it was
Gower's.
over in that area.
It was over in the Hollywood area, and you would just come in, and you were just so full of light. Everybody who knows Sean Lorraine knows she'll just light up a room. And we just became fast friends, didn't we? I
Yes,
was
we did. Well,
kind
I
of an
think I think you offered me a ride because you lived near
okay.
where I was living with my dad. And at
Oh,
that
that's
time you were
right.
living with your parents, right?
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
had just moved here and moved with dad. And when I got in your car, there was a green planner on the seat.
Oh, that's
And as I
right.
picked it up, it had pink writing that said AKA whoop
And I
whoop.
said, oh my goodness, are you?
I seaweed you. I said,
So awesome. I loved it. And
yes,
from that point on, we were sisters. We were sisters.
absolutely.
Yeah, and
And we,
that had to have been in 1998.
let's see if you get it.
I don't know.
7.
19, oh, so I had just become really, I had just become a Christian. And
Wow. And
and you were from the New York church, and
yep.
you were just spirit fingers. You're just like a busy little hummingbird. You were just everywhere. It was just so fabulous. I love that about you. And
Oh,
then
thank you.
and then we got along so well that we decided to become roommates.
Roommates. That's right. That's right. It was so funny because we both had a plan to be out in 6 months, right? And we
Yeah,
started talking, and I literally moved 2 days before the 6-month mark.
yeah, that's right. That's right. I had a
Yep.
little I had a little condo over in Culver City, and then we moved together on what was it, Coldwater Canyon.
Coldwater Canyon. That's
Oh
right.
my goodness, the things that happens in that it was so much fun. It was
Yes.
the
That
sister
was an
girl.
amazing apartment.
It
Well, it
was
was a condo. It was a condo.
it's large, wasn't it? It's three
Yes, it was. We had 3 bedrooms.
Yeah, and later on we got a new roommate, which
Yes.
I loved having you all to myself, but I had to share. And we just had late night. It felt like it was an endless slumber party, right?
Yes,
We were just
absolutely.
talking all the time, and we just told each other our secrets, and
Mhm.
we were just you my bestie, and you still are. You're just so awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I
The
love about
miles don't change that, you know?
the miles don't change that. I was just about to say the thing that I love about you the most is, time and space can, we cannot talk to each other for a long period of time. We could be far away, we could be close together, and it's always like we just picked up, like we were talking in our room in our pajamas late at night in the hotel, you know what I mean, in the condo over there
Absolutely.
North Hollywood. So it's the same feeling. It's the same feeling.
Absolutely. I love
Yeah.
that too. And I love your energy as well, and just your go get 'em spirit. Like, I'm so proud of the things that you have accomplished. And you know what I also love is that we were like-minded without even talking about it, right? So I ended up going to school to become an MFT. You are an MFT as well, right?
Well, no, I'm
And
not an MLT. I did go to school to get my master's master's in counseling. But nope, I'm a doctor.
but you didn't, but well, that,
I was
but
a therapist. I was a therapist.
right, right. And
Yeah.
then you went on to become a doctor
hmm
in psychology, and I'm doing that now. I'm right behind you. I'm
Yeah.
becoming a doctor as well as we speak.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. It's
Yes,
beautiful. And you're so
yes.
it's an easy transition for you. It's something that is such a natural fit for you. It's
I'm
great.
excited.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Chantel is here. She said Dr. Misha is looking yummy.
Oh, there's my girl. Hi, darling. How are you? So good to see you. We're here.
Yes.
See your little text message. Oh, Chantel, good to see you, sweetie. Yeah.
Yes. Connie says, I agree with Dr. Misha. Sean is full of light and energy.
Yes,
Yeah, that
absolutely.
energy abounds. I do know that.
Yes. Through broken hearts and mending them again, and
Yes. Oh my
marriages,
goodness.
yes, and da 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 da, and and ministries, and just oh my goodness.
Mhm.
spiritual broken hearts, romantic broken hearts, and we've been there to help each other mend the pieces back together again. I mean,
%.
you and I have been there for each other in the heights and the lows of our lives.
It's
And
so true.
I love you. I love you for
I
that.
love
And it's
you.
such a great.
I remember when I lost William and you were in Tampa and you would check on me. And I just, I learned that you were really connecting with Chantel behind the scenes and just helping them to do things for me. And I'm so grateful. I mean, it's amazing how when things happen, the village, the sisterhood pulls together in a just an amazing way. And it's such a blessing.
Well, I don't know if you remember this because you were so sick, but I was there with you on the phone. Uh,
Yeah. Oh, that's
all
right.
when you had to make those decisions and cried together with
Um,
you, and it was heart wrenching that I couldn't be there. And COVID is such a beast
ugh,
that you were, it was unbearable to me that you were uh, you couldn't get that hug.
yeah.
You couldn't
Yeah.
get that. And so I could, whatever I could do, is certainly not enough. But I'm just glad that me and Chantel were able to let you know that you're loved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And connect, and everyone just pulled together in such a magnificent way to support me, to hold me, because I could barely stand, physically, emotionally, all of that. Yes, yes, Connie, it is beautiful to hear you both share about how you connected, absolutely, and are still so connected
Still so connected.
after all this time.
You are 3,000
So,
away.
say that again.
You are 3,000 miles away.
Exactly. Exactly. I think California is 3,000 miles away from everywhere. Yeah.
It might be, yes.
It is because it's 3,000 miles away from Ohio. It's 3,000 miles away from New York. So it's kind of just, yeah. Yeah. But so you are in Tampa now.
I'm in the Sunshine State. I'm in
Yeah.
Tampa, Florida, and we are living our best life here. We're living our
Yes, you
best life.
are.
Yeah.
And you are setting Tampa on fire with your work. So tell the boss talkers what it is that you do um, with Crown Leadership and some of the other things that you're doing.
So I'll just go back a little bit and tell you how I came to Crown Leadership. How about that?
Yes, perfect.
I was living in California, and maybe I'll talk about this more if you ask me, but went through a really tough marriage, tough divorce, and really decided that, there was more. There was more in me that I could be
Mm,
doing for the world. And I ended up getting my doctorate, and working through all the fears of being a newly single mom and all of these things. I
mhm,
launched Crown Leadership in a time when I knew that there are people who, um, there are people who are great leaders, but there are fewer people who are servant leaders. There are
mm,
fewer people who are kings and queens who know they wear a crown, and that
mm,
crown is heavy, right? It can, be a burden sometimes, but they wear it with confident humility because they know that other people depend on them.
ooh, Misha, say confident humility. That is rich. I like that.
And the thing is that we know that there is something unique about each one of us. And we are here on earth to do something incredible to change the world. And crown leadership is for those kings and queens who understand the responsibility of that and who want to
Mm,
learn and grow and develop other people so that we can build up communities and organizations and families and
yeah.
people and centers of influences. So then making that ripple effect where we're able to, change one life and it changes so many other things. And so crown leadership
Mhm.
is about that. It's about making an impact on the world as you wear your crown.
Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh. I'm, we didn't talk about this. I am so inspired by that. That is so beautiful.
Yeah.
And so Chantel says, say that stuff, Doc Michelin. That's powerful, honey. Yes. Oh, she called you Michelin, girl. She know you.
You know, that's how you know she knows me. She
She
knows
knows
my
you, girl. Yes. That's awesome.
yes.
Well, so I love that. And Misha, it's so important that those of us who have come into who we are, and we know that, I call it your who you are-ness, when you are living in your God-given, God-driven purpose. For those of us who have found that sweet spot, I think it is so important for us to demonstrate what it looks like to live in that, and then to reveal the road that we have paved for ourselves, and that people have paved for us, that helped us to get there. So I so appreciate what you're doing, and I love now knowing the meaning of crown leadership.
Well,
I like it.
that's the
I
meaning of
love
crown leadership. And since then, you're absolutely right. It's about servant leadership. It really is. And it's about using your skill set, your experiences, your deep wisdom, and confidently pass it on to other
it.
people. So,
Mhm.
in Crown Leadership, we help develop other extraordinary high achievers, what I call EHAs. And these are people
Mm,
who are in various aspects in leadership, either in business or entrepreneurship, and other
mhm,
people who are leaders who are wanting to learn how to, you know, develop and coach more powerfully other people.
mhm.
So that is what we do, and it's a calling. It's a
Yes,
calling.
it is. So you're like a coach for the coaches.
I am a coach for the coaches. I'm a mentor coach through International Coach Federation, and yeah, that's
Yeah.
um, that's the beauty of it. And it's so awesome when you find other like-minded people who have a driving passion to change the world, and they just want to build the skill set to do it.
Right,
You know?
right. Yes. And the work that we do, there are so many different ways to reach people, and to help them find their potential, help them find their growth, help them understand that they have a purpose, that they are kings and queens. And so I think that, it's like an each one teach one, right? The
Which one?
thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
really.
Connie says, Dr. Misha, you are speaking the truth, and she loves that term, EHAs. Yes. So I just want to take a quick break, because as I'm looking at myself, don't judge me, y'all. Y'all know me, and y'all know that I go nowhere without my earrings. And so I'm going to put my jewelry on. Excuse me.
Oh, okay. Let's take a break to put on the jewelry.
Just a jewelry break right here. There we
Okay,
go.
that is worth it. That is worth it. That is
Yes.
worth the
And I
break.
have to shout out my former student who is killing it in the jewelry game, Miss Rosalind Wright. You can find her on Instagram. Just Google Rosalind, and it's Roslynn Wright, Wright. And these are hers, and I think they're appropriate, along with my shirt, which I'll just give you all a better glimpse of my shirt. All the divas. See
Oh,
all the divas on my shirt. And my
that looks
shirt
fun.
is from Vanessa Hawkins. And I don't remember the name of Vanessa's company, but DM me, email me, find me, Facebook me, YouTube me, and I will connect you with her, because she has all these amazing products that I stopped by her house and probably bought all of them the other day. So
I love those earrings.
thank
Love
you. So now you know why I had to put them on.
Oh, that is worth the break for sure.
Yes, yes. So Misha, you probably, I kind of feel like, you know what? I think that you were born a coach. You just hadn't come into that yet. But what are some of the things that you have done along the way to get you to where you are now? business wise, professionally?
Oh, business wise, professionally, I think, what's amazing is that life just gives you a unique wisdom, right?
Mhm.
And one of the things that life gave me was, okay, so really God. Okay, so being
Mm.
a disciple uh, is to kind of go on the journey of what the world calls, personal development. It really is
Mhm.
just being the best you can be, right?
Yes, it is. Yes,
And
it is.
being a disciple is challenging. Being a woman of God is challenging. We're called to the
Yes.
highest standard, the scriptures of the Bible, and learning how to unwaveringly, confidently, fearlessly be who it is that God designed us to be. Right.
Yes.
And so I think that's really, I mean, if you want to ask me what prepared me for that, for being a coach, it's that. So that's personally, but I would say professionally, how I started off was, I don't know if you remember, I worked in a hospital. Do you remember that?
I
I worked
don't.
at this hospital called Brotman. It used to be called Brotman.
Right.
It was in Culver
I do
City.
now. And that's in Culver City, isn't it?
It was, yeah.
Okay, got it. Got it.
Something else now, but I was a social worker and a therapist with dual diagnosed uh, inpatient psychiatric patients, and ended up working at a few different hospitals doing therapy and things like that, working with psychiatric patients and patients with addictions and things like that. And that's where I got my big curiosity about human nature, about the
Mhm.
human condition. It's so exciting to me. Other people are like, that's really like, that's not something they would want to do, but it was very
Right.
exciting for me. It was a little bit like Silence of the Lambs, but it was great. It
Yes.
was great, right? And so after that, I ended up going to get my MFT, and I ended up going into private practice and realized this is not something I want to do. And let me
Mhm.
tell you why. I loved talking to people, but I realized I was more of a person who liked to see results, right?
Mhm.
And for me, I hadn't learned yet. This is in my 20s. I hadn't learned how to professionally kind of cut off, some of the energies that was coming in.
Coming your
And
way. Right.
right, you understand that. And so I ended up
Mhm.
going into finance. I was recruited into Transamerica. And consequently, all of those skills that you use as a disciple, all of the skills that you use as a therapist are completely transferable into sales. And,
Everything.
and my
Everything.
grew very, very quickly. And
Yes.
so people started asking me. I recruited these really interesting people. I remember I recruited a security guard, and is much older. He's not somebody you would think would be great at, sales and finances. And this guy ended up becoming number two and number three in the company. And they were like, that guy? And I'm like, yeah, that
Mhm.
guy. And so what happened then is brokers started asking me to train their teams because my team was growing. We became number one, number two in the company. And they started asking me, what are you doing with your team to help them to grow and do very well? And so I started coaching their teams, and then I started coaching the brokers. And I realized, and then my internals, it was more of an internal sales business where a lot of my business came, where I was teaching other people how to sell and teaching other people about finances. And I didn't
Oh.
really have to do any outside marketing or outside, I didn't have to go prospecting other people because all of
Mhm.
my business was in the house working with
Love it.
brokers. Right. And so it was great. Did great business with people, and
Mhm.
I realized that I loved coaching actually more than I loved, and I love the business aspect and coaching more than I loved finances. Right.
Got it. Yes. Look at
And
that.
then,
Yeah.
I finally got my daughter, and I sold my entire book of business. I finally got my little baby girl. We were married, and I waited for her for 10 years. And it was very, very difficult to have children. So at that time, I said, oh, I'll sell my book of business and I'm out. I will see you
Yeah.
later.
Deuces.
Deuces. I will see you. I'm a mommy now, and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
But I
Well,
still,
I want to segue for a quick minute. Well, first of all, I want to say hi to my BWN sister, Miss Camelia Blair. Hello, lady. She says, good evening, beautiful ladies. Good evening back at you, girl. Now, Misha, the marriage. I coordinated your wedding.
oh my goodness, that's correct. I gave you a choice. I said
Right.
either be the what is it, the maid of honor
Wait a
or something
minute.
like that, or coordinate my wedding, and you decided to coordinate the wedding, which
That was like a lot of fun.
way we had over 700 people there at our
Yes.
wedding.
Oh my gosh. Amazing. Okay, and so you transitioned out of that, but you recognized the skills that you took in the discipleship, that those were transferable into the financial industry, and then you recognized as you excelled in that industry that you had this gift for coaching, and that's where you really lived in
And
that.
that's it. And this is the thing, the experiences and the opportunities there. I mean, we don't realize how many opportunities, and experiences we have that can be transferable just like that.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so I love
Those
that.
awful ones, right? Even
Well,
those ones that lay us down.
well, listen, this is what happened. My mother ended up having breast cancer. I don't know if you remember that. And then she asked me to take over her company. And that
Yeah.
was, um, you know, uh, oh, this is a good question, Connie, but I'll answer that in
Yes.
just a second. I'm not really uh, reading it correctly, I don't think. But that experience of being the executive director of a multi-million-dollar organization taught me everything I needed to know about executive coaching, about finance,
Mhm.
sales, relationships, politics, dealing
Woo.
with teams, everything that you can think of. And that is really one of the things that gave me skill set. So it's just really saying yes to the opportunities that lay you down, like you said.
Yes, yes. Say yes. That's the key. Okay, so Connie had a question. She said, Dr. Misha, how did you handle the challenges of going from married to single and still move forward in your calling to where you are now? Ooh,
Oh my
that's
goodness. Connie, that is a great question. So, I was married for 15 years, ended up being divorced, a very biblical divorce. We're very cordial. He is a good person. And then became single and, still moved toward my calling. You know what it was for me? It was a lot of personal work. And I'll just be honest right here. It was the realization that I had been living in codependency for so long.
wow.
It was a realization that I was in an enmeshed relationship that was hurting myself, my children. And it took everything for me to, like, being divorced. It's a spiritual severing. It hurts. It's a death. It's not something I would necessarily recommend, but it's something that God led me to. And
Mm-hmm.
it's really amazing. I will tell you, we were, for a better part of our relationship on some kind of public assistance. And now
Mm.
we're millionaires. In 3 years, making
Wow.
choices and decisions allowed for me in 3 years to be able to be a millionaire. And
Mm.
let me tell you this. So I went and got my doctorate. We were going through the divorce. And then I decided to just really open up. I didn't really tell very many people, like, this is the thing when you're married and you're a Christian, and you're a couple that has helped other couples become Christians. It was really hard for me to face the reality of what my relationship was. Yeah, you're welcome. And it was very difficult. It was very, very challenging. But I went through a lot of therapy. I went through EMDR. I had to really
Oh.
get to myself. I went through dealing with all of the anxiety and the trauma of the emotional abuse and things like that was happening. I dealt with having to deal with my children now as a single mom and making all the decisions. And it was really tough. But guess what? I found out I had to really go through it. And what I found out was that I am so strong.
Come on now.
That in a condescending, patronizing, or prideful way. I
Oh,
I found out who God really designed me to be, like who I am.
yes. And that's that confidence with humility you mentioned a few minutes ago. That's what that is. It's because when you go through the fire, only holding on to God,
Yeah,
knowing, just
there was
like in Jeremiah, what is it, 43, I think, when he says you will go through the fire and not be burned. When you hold on like that, and you, because you know there's no other way to the other side except through that fire. But that thing in the pit of your stomach that knows that Jesus is Lord, that knows that God will, if he brought you to it, he will take you through it. All of those things, and some of them very cliche and not in the Bible, but they are the experience of the Bible. And I feel like that's what you lived. And so I, like Connie, appreciate your transparency in this, because there are other women who might be in a situation and not even know, they might not have the name for it, like you were able to say it was codependency.
I
And they feel like they have to stay there. And so I so appreciate that. Hello, Miss Goodman. Gwendolyn says, good evening. Gwen, you came in on the juicy part, girl. This is good. This is really helpful stuff. And Connie, Minister Connie, so let me say that so you get some understanding of who we're talking about. Like, she gets that God piece, and she says that she can relate in so many ways. And you'll have to go back and watch her show from about 3 weeks ago. Connie, put in the chat the name of your book. I don't want to butcher it, because I absolutely love the title, and it's so important. So,
and
Misha, go ahead. Were you going to say something?
yeah, and I think it's important for women to know that we can have an identity as a couple. And, sometimes we get lost in that identity.
Yes.
And only when so for me, it wasn't this the severing of the relationship, it was a severing of my identity. And
Ooh.
that's what floored me. That's what leveled me out. I was in a fetal position for a good, better part of months. Okay. And I was seeing a therapist twice or sometimes 3 times a week. Okay. And I'm not laughing like this is funny, but I look back on it now and yeah, you're absolutely correct. It does build resilience. And I didn't know how powerful and resilient I was until I stepped out on my own and made decisions. And that
Mm.
I can't teach what I don't have. So me being able to go through this experience, now I can be able to teach other people who, can stand in their own individual light. Just like Shauna Ray, you do the same thing. Oh, that's the book. I saw your
Yes,
podcast.
post-divorce warfare, the ultimate betrayal. Yes.
Gosh, yes, that's wow, quite the title. Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. And so, yes, absolutely, severing the identity as well. And let me tell you what happened after I did. You
Oh,
won't
do
believe.
tell. I think, y'all, this is the part, because we talk about love and romance and all that good stuff. So go ahead, Misha, tell us what happened next.
I'm just going to keep this story short. So I'm going through my stuff, right? And I'm finally feeling healed. And I there are some relationships when you go through a divorce. There are relationships and friendships who divorce you as well. Um,
Mhm.
how are you? And so there were a great many people that didn't want to, have connection with me anymore, and it was very sad, right? And
Yeah.
so, what was my thought? I saw Tracy and I lost my train of thought. But I just been seeing her so long. And so then one day out of nowhere, I get this call on LinkedIn, just a little message.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness. And it was my ex-boyfriend from college.
Ah,
And I had broken up with him a long time ago. I mean, it was college, right? So I'm
right.
19, and he said, I kind of want to go off and I want to be an aviator. I want to be in the Navy, and I'm going to be a commander in the Navy. And I'd like for you to think about being a Navy wife with me. And I said, no, no, thank you. And I carried myself back to Los Angeles from Hampton University to back to Los Angeles. And so 25 years later, this man came and on LinkedIn and said, "Hi, you remember me?" And I said, "Of course I do."
Type,
He,
type, 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 type.
he was really like he had grown into his ears. He was he was like a fantastic, he was like a good looking man. I was like, "Oh my goodness."
You
And
had the vapors, Misha.
And so we ended up talking, and he had was going through and had gone through something similar. Like, so he had so once we had broken up, we each married different people. We were each married 15 years. We
Wow.
each got divorced. We each had 2 children. And then we reconnected 25 years later. Okay. And so he came and he said, "You know what? It's been 25 years. I've done everything I said I was going to do. I'm a commander in the Navy, and I just retired, and I want to kind of reconnect, and I want to get to know you." And I said, "Oh, word. Oh, okay." And look at me, I'm blushing right now. He might be
I
like,
love it. I'm
"Oh,
blushing. And I know the story.
yes." Fast forward to now, me and my husband have been married 3 years, and he is what brought me out to Tampa. And it was the courage of taking my children and moving them out 3,000 miles away from everything they knew to start to make a fresh start was the bravest thing I've ever done, but the best decision I could have made for me and my children and
Yes.
my now
And
husband,
I
who's
love
super.
that
Yeah.
story. That is so powerful. And you and I talked many nights.
Oh wait, by the way, we did. By the way, let me just put this in here. And he became a disciple. And
Come
his wife
on.
became a disciple. And then we got married. And then we got married.
I
Yeah.
love that. I
That's
love
that.
that. What are you doing?
Yeah. We
Well,
talked many
so
nights.
go, what'd you say?
I said we did. We talked many nights about it, didn't we?
Yes, we did. And Misha, I love that you have this story and that you're open to sharing it, because again, it's each one teach one. So when we're talking about our own lives and sharing, there's somebody out there that needs that little get up, right? They need that nudge to say, get up off that couch. You've been there and that's good. You might have had to be there. Like you said, you were fetal for a while.
All right.
And that's okay. And I, different circumstance, but I've been fetal. I am still fetal on some days, but I always know that God's going to give me whatever it takes to get back up. And he's going to put the people in my life who will help me get back up. And I love that the piece that you said, that when you have a divorce, you not only divorce your spouse, you sometimes divorce other relationships as well. And that can be hard. That in itself can be hard because, sometimes you can feel betrayed. It's like, I didn't know that there was a bottom basis for this relationship and that it would not withstand the shift. And that can be hurtful. And I know that feeling, for different circumstance, but not 100% different in so many ways, but I applaud your courage and I applaud your standing in your who you are-ness and moving
Word.
into
It's so awesome.
yes, your God-given, God-driven purpose, and you are helping so many people. Let's check the chat. Gwen says, yes, this is the juicy stuff because it will help, yes, free some listeners. God bless her for her courage to bravery to successful in her own eyes, human leading others through. Cheers. Yes. Connie says, wow, Dr. Misha, our stories mirror each other so much. Whoa. Did you see Dr. Connie's show? Did I hear you say that? You did.
Yeah, she's
Yes.
fantastic. She's
Yes.
fantastic. Yeah, and there's, there is, here's the thing. I really believe in um, our experiences. And, like I said earlier, you can't teach what you don't have. But
Mm.
it's so important for us to be able to learn from these very powerful experiences.
Yes.
And for me, just to be able to be healthy and free myself of, um, or even really pray, but to
Mm.
for God to help me through codependency and
Mm.
fear and anxiety and all of this different stuff, to be able to emerge on the other side, like with a very powerful relationship now, and a
Yeah.
very powerful man,
Yeah.
and he's just so awesome. That's great. That's the beauty of being able to step out with courage.
Right.
Um, with that, I want people to know that they have the ability to take a look at their own personal experiences, their unique experiences, and give it as a gift to someone else, and use
Mm.
that in
Ooh, I love
coaching
that.
so that you can be able to be a light to someone else. And that's what
Mm.
we teach.
Yeah. Listen, Mary Wilson from Toledo, Ohio, from the Sandbox, my friend. She says, so glad I didn't miss you this time. So perhaps you are speaking to her in that powerful way that we're talking about. This is so good. This is so good. So, Misha, you said something else when you mentioned that you did say that you're successful, but you not only said you went from public assistance to being a millionaire. And I just want to talk about the bravery that it even takes to say that, because when you say that you are a millionaire, you have the people around, the naysayers, the wannabes, the people who have limited vision, who will feel some type of way about you speaking numbers, because people are uncomfortable speaking numbers. So can you speak to that right now, please? How do you feel about that? And what are your thoughts about that?
About speaking numbers.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. I just okay. So your success may come in different ways.
Sure.
And for me, the release for me was a financial release. Listen,
Mm.
we lived in a very small apartment. My children, were on Goodwill. I remember I came home one day, and my ex-husband had taken the kids to look in trash cans for toys, for used toys that they can have, right? And so, and he brought them home, and the kids were like, they were very young, so they might not even remember this, but, they're like, Mom, look at what we got. And it was one of those instances where my heart just broke. My heart just broke because they were
Mm.
being raised with a different value system than I was raised with.
Mm.
And
Yes.
um, the richness or the money is a point to say this is what God delivered us from.
Yes. That's what I wanted you to say out loud. That
Yeah.
piece right there.
So
Because you go ahead, honey. I'm excited. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. I love your excitement. Go ahead.
Because I feel like people, we say that we're Christians, we say that we believe in God, but then we want to accept less than what God's gifts for us entail. So God says live life and live it to the fullest. And no, the fullest doesn't always mean financial things, but here is the other piece. When we are elevated, so is he. And so when you say that, you, and especially in the position that God has put you in as a coach of high achievers, then you get to share his blessing in order to help others see what is possible. And so I love that you spoke that truth, because that is inspiring. And I mean, the chat is blowing up. Let's look at it. Yes, Spot Tracy said, "Tell it like it is." It's inspiring. And just that piece, telling it like it is, telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, is inspiring, because people try to take what was not so pretty and paint it as though it was beautiful. And this is the thing: people are not given the opportunity to see their own situation and see what is possible, see the way out, if you are not raw and honest. And
Right. Well, so
honest.
here's the thing I'd like to say about that. And you're so absolutely 100% right. Uh, there are lots of people who have two lives. You're living the same life, but it's two lives. There's a life
Mm,
that you have publicly that you want other people to see. And then there's a life that you have with you in the quiet of your inside your home, in the quiet of the night, when you cry those tears or whatever. It's the transformation comes when you experience true authenticity. The transformation comes when you allow yourself to to create the insight from your own life. And
mm,
that's what a coach does for you. That's what a
yes.
good therapist or a good coach does for you. But again, you can't teach what you don't have. So if you don't have the transformation, you can't pass it on to other people, can you?
That's it.
Right. And so your impact, your influence, your ability to inspire other people is limited. So my encouragement is just to experience that true authenticity. Let the public you be the same as the private you.
Mm, that's walking your walk.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah.
walking your talk. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I walk in your walk. So yeah, I know what you're
That's
saying.
that part.
You can tell.
Yes.
So I have clients who are very powerful, clients who are even, surgeons. And some of them go through the same things that people in the military do when they've gone, and been in war sometimes. But, in the quiet of the night, I have to be a certain person, or I have to present myself in a certain way, right? So that I don't let other people down, so that I don't, mess up my own opportunities, because so I don't, so I'm not embarrassed. So so you suck all this stuff up, and it just creates this anxiety, this fear in you.
Mm,
And,
mm,
a psychologist, someone who's a coach, a seasoned coach, that's what we do, is we help pull that out
yes,
and
ma'am.
uproot it so that we can deal with
Yes,
it, and that you can be the best leader that you can be. But
yes.
it has to be something that you're willing to do. This is why coaches need coaches, right?
That's it. That's it. That's 100% the truth. And I think that, when when you know, so I think that, as you go through the journey, you can tell that you're on the right path. You can tell that your feet are being led where they're supposed to go, and that you're planting not only your feet in the right place, but the seeds that were meant for you to plant. The chat is just going crazy, Misha. So Connie says, yes, Sean, the journey from humble means to prosperity. Yes, yes, yes. So Sister Tanya, hey girl. She says that was a courageous question. Tanya has a podcast, a show called And Then I Rise. And I've been on her show, and she will soon be a guest on this show. So thank you for joining in. Tracy says, good stuff. God is so good. Yes, he is, Connie. Chantel Denise says, wow, thanks for sharing all of this, Misha. You have an amazing testimony, sis. That's the key word. It is a testimony. And when you have that, it is almost like a duty, especially in the work that you are called to. What when we are elevated, so is he. Absolutely. I think you know this lady.
Tiffany.
Tiffany. Hi, Tiffany. Thanks for tuning in, love.
Thanks for
We just
coming.
got folks all up in here. Yes, to tell the truth is to take off the mask. And you know, Chantel's new favorite word is authenticity. So I am just thrilled here. Let's see. Sharon. Hello, little sister.
Hello,
Thank you
hello
for
there.
authenticity. Sharon
Thank
says very inspiring.
you, my friend. Thank you, my friend.
Misha, I love your quiet, truthful spirit.
Oh, thank
Yes,
you. Thank
that
you.
is the perfect description for you, my friend.
Oh,
Thank you, Tanya. That is it. 100%. Let your public you be your private you. Epic. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. So, Misha, as you continue in the work that you're doing and just setting Tampa on fire, what are some of the things that are coming up for you that you want to share?
well, I guess we can just talk about. I mean, there's so many things, right? Uh,
Yes, yes.
I love the fact that my husband is super supportive of just me being the best me.
Mm,
He's always pushing me. I'm what you call a reluctant leader, right? I used to be a reluctant leader.
I know
Um,
what you mean by that.
very, very okay with just letting the other people do very well. It's oh,
Mhm.
vicariously living through a vicarious leader living through other people. Oh, look at her, she's awesome. Look at him. Oh, look at that. That's so great. And oh, this is so amazing. Look at all of them. And I would just I'd be content with that. I think that was, I know, having done the work, that was me responding to the trauma, right? Me wanting to be invisible, my own self imposter complex. What we call that?
Mm,
The imposter complex, right? The imposter syndrome.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. My words escape me just later. Okay. But it's one of those things where, you know, learning how to coach other people. There are three things I think that we can just really talk about when it talks about the points of why does a coach need a coach, right?
Come on.
Uh, Number one, we all need that accountability. We all need that person who is going to teach us how to love ourselves unconditionally, how to help us develop grit and grace, right?
Woo! I
How to
like that.
help us learn how to have self compassion. When you have if we're to put everything in a pot and a recipe and a stew, right? That self compassion, that grit and grace, all of those things is a great recipe for change, right? So having a great coach that helps us with those things and accountability helps us to change. That's reason number one of why coaches need coaches. Reason number two is we all can grow in leadership. We all can grow and learn how to handle our own business. So, for example, like you right now, um, you're learning how to leverage, you're growing and growing, and you're trying to figure out how do I leverage things right now? How do I
Yes.
grow more exponentially? What mistakes do I keep from making in order to grow my business? And how do I serve other people more powerfully? Okay. How do
Yes.
I use my gifts to the best of their ability? So the strategy behind that is what we get to learn, right? And then the other thing is what I've been talking about. It's wisdom. It's really the best coaches um, have what I call wisdom coaching. Okay. And wisdom coaching is not easy to come by. It's something that God has given you. They're the most intelligent people. I remember coaching someone in a healthcare organization with 3,000 direct reports, right? And highly intelligent in a technology health industry, highly,
Mm-hmm.
but the lack of wisdom that this leader had at the time,
Mm.
exponentially since then. She's an amazing person, but the lack of wisdom affected so many other people, right?
Yes.
So just knowing and the deeper understanding, that wisdom, that deeper understanding about the human heart, the human condition, that intuition, all of those things, that those experiences, that all comes from creating insight. And you don't get that insight, right? Um, on your own. It has to be developed. And that's what coaches are for. And coaches help you develop your own, what I call GP, guiding principles, things that you know in your life that you can go, this, if I do these 3 or 5 things, then I'm going to be successful, or I'm going to be happy, even more important. Okay. God is going to be working through me if I do these 3 to 5 things, right? So it's having someone guide you and talk you through some of those things. Insight that comes from God. It's a self-reflection, right? And so once you have those things, you can then, with your own unique purpose, give that away. Those are 3 really powerful reasons as to why a coach needs a coach, or why a leader needs a coach.
I love that. Chantel said it takes humility for a coach to see that they need a coach. Good stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we're
And
all good.
it's so funny because in the community of coaches, which Chantel recently joined, which I joined, you know, um, when you speak, you find that they all have coaches and they speak about their coaches and they give the wisdom that their coach gives to them. I recently, many of you know, I recently had the gift of being able to do a TEDx talk,
Yeah.
and
So
the one of the women and I were talking today, and she's not here watching the show right now because was able to meet with her coaches today at that same time. So it's important that you connect with that need in order to be able to reach the pinnacle heights that you're trying to go to. And it's so funny, Misha, because what you said in speaking about me you got that from the conversation that we had just yesterday, I think. And I was telling you where I wanted to go, and you wrapped that up so beautifully, and it made so much sense to me. And that's your gift, that you have that insight that you were just talking about. It's so powerful.
thank
So
you.
powerful.
Thank you. I mean, that's something that's super encouraging. I love that. And, it's very humbling, to just where we've been and where we've come from. But it's so exciting to see where we're going and how we can be that incredible light.
Yeah.
Incredible light. Right, right. I'd like to talk a little bit about the course that we're offering here. That'd be a good time to.
Yes. Because Chantel said, Misha, we need you to come and teach us, sugar. So
Oh,
do tell.
what? Sugar? She called me sugar. I love it.
That's the Texas twister.
That's a sister. I love it. I love it. We're offering a course for people who want to learn how to coach extraordinary high achievers. You'll receive a certificate with the International Coach Federation. And I'm on the board with, it's so fascinating. I just was elected to be on the board for International Coach Federation as to director of strategic partnerships. And I'd like to partner with a lot of you. I'd like to talk with you individually if I can, and find out what your life is like and where you want to go. So encouraging. I love to talk to people about that kind of stuff. But one of the things I'd love to share is the class that we have coming up in May. It's going to be a 12-week class. It's so exciting because we're going to learn the beautiful dance of coaching, which is psychology and business and science together as a trifecta. We'll learn why things are the way they are in our brain. We'll learn the science of fear. We'll learn about limiting beliefs. We'll learn about things that stop us and how to, if we're coaching someone or developing someone, even as a leader, how to help them get to the next level. We'll use understandings like belonging and reaching our self actualization as a mode for us to be able to propel our clients to the next level. So it's going to be exciting. The methodology is sound. We like to use science. Okay, so it's not just coming from nowhere.
Right.
It's all scientifically based, and we're going to be looking at case studies of coachees and clients that I've had in the past, and people who have been Olympic gold medalists, and people who have multi-million dollar Fortune 100 companies, people in nonprofits, people in the military. All of
Mm-hmm.
these very powerful leaders, they all have a few things in common as extraordinary high achievers, and we're going to learn what those are. And you'll
I
learn how to coach those people and coach them in such a powerful way that
Mhm.
you'll create more opportunity for yourself and influence and impact. So
Yes.
you'll join us.
I love that, Misha. Thank you for sharing that. I think, if you're out there and you're ready to dance on full tilt boogie, as my husband would say, then please contact Dr. Misha. Now, how can they find you, Dr. Misha?
Wow, find me. Okay. So I'm going to launch today a new Facebook page that is Crown Leadership. I'll go ahead and send that to your link. And then if you share that, that would be fantastic. If you could
Hmm.
put in the chat, crown-leadership.com, you can sign up and have me contact you right away. Shoot me an email. I mean, there's tons of ways to get in contact with me. Crown-leadership.com. And I mean, this is the tip of the iceberg here. This is well, I should say
They
www.crown-leadership.com.
know that.
For the people who are very concise and detailed, sometimes I have to say, those things.
Well, I think I just am so thrilled that you were able to come on with me tonight. We could have a little girlfriend time. We could have some
Oh,
professional development time, and you have shared some beautiful gems and some rich nuggets. And I'm so grateful to have had you on today. And it's so good to see your pretty face.
so good to
And
see
listen,
you.
y'all, if you go to Misha's website over there at crown-leadership.com, it's magnificent. And she's over there looking like $1,000,000, a movie star, all of that. And beauty and brains, that would be you, my dear. I'm so proud of you. I'm so
I'm so
in
proud of
awe of
you.
you. Well, thank
We
you.
haven't even talked about what you're doing in your life right now. We haven't even discussed that yet. You just came back from Trinidad.
I
You just
did.
did talk. You just are
I
so
did.
amazing.
I just got to do a TEDx talk in
Yeah.
Trinidad and Tobago. It was amazing. And it was a beautiful experience. I was honored to be able to do it, and met some amazing women. There were 8 of us. 3 women were virtual, and 5 of us got on those airplanes, and really had a beautiful time there. So absolutely. Um, I got to find out. I do have a link where you can still see it before it gets edited and all of that. It was the live, so I'll send you that tonight, Misha.
You're live. Oh, I love
And
video.
yeah, it was just so beautiful. It was so fun, and I mean the backdrop. Hey, come on, the backdrop wasn't bad at
Right,
all.
right. That is awesome. Oh my God.
Yes,
Can't wait.
Tiffany, thank you.
Tiffany Walker, it's so good to see you. Hi, Tiffany. Who else do I see
Yes,
here? Tracy. Wow.
yes.
Okay, and if you all go to our website here at crown-leadership.com and reach out, I'd love to have an amazing yes, yes, yes. I'd love to have a conversation with you and just get to know you as well, or some get reconnected with you. Oh gosh, it's going to be so amazing. And so we will have a live course, and we will only be fitting 10 people in this course. And we'll be having some of our executive MBA students that I train and coach from the University of Tampa, and probably some doctors and surgeons on there as well, and you maybe. So it'll be so much fun. The space is limited, so reach out to me. Please like and subscribe. I don't think, can you do that? Just like the page? Is that what you do? I don't know.
Your website.
Yeah.
And they can do that on your new Facebook page, so they can definitely like, comment,
Yeah.
subscribe, and share. See, I learned
Yeah.
new and share.
Sure, yes. Like,
Share.
and share.
Yes. Tiffany says she feels empowered. That's beautiful. And she also says it was good to see you guys. This was inspiring. So we are happy to hear those comments. You also, I hate to say goodbye to you, but I think we're planning a little get together in May because I have another Florida trip planned. So I'm going to do Misha, and I'm going to go to Tampa on the front end.
Love it. I love it. I can't wait to see my girl. I can't wait to see my baby girl. I love you
Yes.
so much.
Love you. I love you so much. And I'm so excited for you. I can't wait to see that new house and hug the little baby children's, Miss Sophie and David.
Well, I've got four now, so that's the double blessing that I get for.
Oh, that's right. You have the bonus blessing. That's right.
I love it.
Thank you, Tanya. We will get you on this summer because I'm booked. May is booked for Mental Health Month, and June is looking good. So let's talk about that. Thank you. This was wonderful, ladies. Thank you, Spa Tracy. And I have some Bridgerton news for you. For those of you who don't know, if you watched Bridgerton and you were a fanatic like we were, there is a Bridgerton experience happening. When I found out it was happening, I called Tracy. I said, because when I say let's, she says go. I said, there's a Bridgerton experience. One of my clients told me. And she said, oh my God, we have to go. I said, should I buy some tickets? She said, yes. How much should I get? She's like, I don't know. I said, should we get the VIP? She was like, yes. I was like, okay. So I bought 4 tickets. And then I went back and bought another one. I called Chantel right away. I said, I got tickets for Bridgerton. Are you in? She's like, count me in. So we are going to have the best time. We just got an email to go and look for dresses. And so I had to rewatch it to get re-inspired. Shonda Rhimes, if you're out there, we love, love, love you. You are fantastic. And we thank you for bringing amazing content that inspires and empowers all of us. I want to give a shout out to one of my favorite girls in Hollywood. Well, there are two. One is Vanessa Bell Calloway, my sister, who just celebrated 65 fabulous years. Nobody does it like you, VBC. You are beautiful. You are amazing. And I, along with the rest of the world, loves you. And Taraji P. Henson sent me an encouraging message and blew my mind. And I just cannot tell you how much I love her. I love her raw, who you are-ness. I love that she keeps it real. I love that she's a mental health advocate. And I love that she hollered at your girl. So I just want to send you some love to Raji P from B.O.S.S TALK, because you all are bold, one of a kind, sensational superstars. And we will see you again next week. We have a gentleman, one of our Gentlemen's Monthly, my baby brother, Lamar Deuce Lubin, will be here, formerly of DRS, platinum winning artist, an amazing, just amazing human on the planet. So Misha, Dr. Misha, once again, I love you. I thank you so much. Thank you for inspiring. Thank you for dropping wisdom. And thank you for being you. A bold, one of a kind, sensational superstar.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Stay put. We're going to chat after. And all of you out there, we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Bye.
Shalom, y'all, and live loved.